On previous shows, we talked about the state humanity is in, that even though that we're at the peak of human progress, there's still wars in the world. Still. Yeah, there is separation. There's a big mess. I'd even say that we feel kind of helpless coping with these problems, and we talked about an ancient and very relevant method that can deliver a person from his evil, from the wars, from the separation, to good harmony and peace. And we're really curious about this method. We understand that it can create good relations between people and even change our perception of reality. So today we'd like to understand, how does the method work? Is there a certain process that a person goes through once he starts using this method? We see that in life, everything works very gradually, whether it's the development of a baby or the evolution of our universe. And this is actually what we'd like to ask about today. Is the method of correction also based on a process with stages and so on? First of all, everything that we're going through, even if we're not talking about the wisdom of Kabbalah, and the corrections and corruptions, is a part of the process of correction that we're going through against our own will. And this process changes us, and we're changing all the time. Only we're going through this process unconsciously. We're not participating in it ourselves. Meaning, we understand that we're going through a process. We see it from history and everything that's happening, but that this entire process is predetermined, pre-calculated, that it has a beginning and an end. We don't really accept that. We can say, yeah, there are different laws in nature. Maybe these laws also apply to us, like the law of development, the law of evolution that has to do with the evolution of the human species, and man as a part of it. But still, we don't really delve into it. But if we delve into the law of development, of how nature develops, we can learn a lot from it. That one way or another, we're probably a part of the same process, and that it's a compelling process, and that if we somehow want to understand what's happening to us, or what's going on with us, we have to study this process. How do we reach the forces that activate it? How can we discern the different stages that we're going through? How can we not only understand, but also maybe intervene in the process in a good way? But first we have to understand, can we interfere in this process or not? Or are we in the hands of blind nature doing whatever it feels like with us? Like the dinosaurs disappeared, maybe we'll disappear too. Like what happened to the dinosaurs so many millions of years ago, that a meteor, asteroid, hit Earth, and they perished. Maybe the same will happen with our civilization. It's enough that a few tons of rock or iron fall on Earth, shake it, and our life's over. So this is something that we have to learn. Humanity, for some reason, isn't that interested in it. Like little kids, it plays with its little toys, like what they do when they crawl around, and pays no attention to the big things. There are those that talk about it, about the dangers of these big problems. But it's not that it's something that we learn and study in a way that we invest in it and that we have to learn how to solve the problem of our development, because we see that our development isn't good. We're really suffering. Every state is worse than the previous one. So what's going on? Generation after generation, our kids are slipping between our fingers. They're not having a better life than we had, than a generation ago. Meaning, humanity is not that interested in investing in the different stages of its development. And here we have to understand that these stages of development, if this is how we have to go through them, because we have no other choice, that we're like the animate level, even though that we can understand a bit more, but it's better for us not to understand, and whatever happens, happens, or that we were given an intellect and emotions in order for us to understand the process and we'll be able to change it. That maybe here there is place for us to participate in the correction, that by our participation we can invert this entire process, shift it from a bad way to a good way. And therefore, here we have to somehow awaken the people towards it. The scientists, the wise people. The wisdom of Kabbalah speaks about it in a very clear way. It says that, of course, we're going through a process, that's clear. This process was predetermined by nature, that's also clear. But from a certain point and on, we can interfere in this process and change it. And it explains how to do it, so that finally we'll reach better, more advanced stages, so that we and the future generations will be better off. So there's a method, the method of correction, that's been implemented for thousands of years, and we're also now supposed to use it. So what is this method? What stages does it take a person through? The method is pretty simple. It says that the same force that develops us and takes us step by step through our development is, let's call it, the force of evil. Because the force of evil is what develops in us, the egoistic force. The egoistic force is that I think only about myself, taking only myself into consideration and no one else, unless I have no choice. And therefore, our development is always from bad to worse, from war to war, different struggles and so on, in smaller things and in bigger things. And this is something that we both see. We see it in different forms, both in the way that we develop our countries, our society, our families, our children, their education, and so on and so forth, the technologies that we develop. It's all about how to control each other, and this is what we invest our entire life in. You can see how the big countries invest billions of dollars, efforts, lives, blood, and how will they overcome each other? It's worse than children fighting in the backyard about who's stronger. And this is how we live our life. And as the wisdom of Kabbalah explains, we're controlled by the force of nature. But along with it, when we start experiencing suffering, and we reach the recognition of evil, since we're developing in a very bad and threatening way all the time, that threatens our very existence. Look what we came to. We can blow up our planet, our small home. So when we look at that, then in such a generation that has the brains and both the ability to destroy ourselves, also the ability to correct our egoistic desire becomes revealed. A method called the wisdom of Kabbalah is revealed, and it explains that you're controlled by the so-called evil inclination, evil desire, evil force, that everything that you see in nature, in the universe, it's all only the evil force. And the good force is not present in your life, neither in the still, nor in the vegetative, nor the animate, nor the speaking. Why? It's not a matter of plus and minus, because the positive and negative particles, as if, do exist. But every creature, regardless what degree it's on, whether it's the still, vegetative, animate, or the speaking levels, it wants for its own benefit and, if possible, at the expense of others. And this is a general law that applies to reality as a whole. And therefore, reality as a whole is called the evil inclination, or the evil desire. And we can't live this way forever, but eventually we see that the world's coming to an end. And our life will be such that we will want for that end to come. Things are going to be that bad. And therefore, the wisdom of Kabbalah is becoming revealed. It's called the method of correction, and it says that in order to correct this, and that it's possible to correct this, we can do it if we use the positive force against the revealed negative force that's controlling our world, that's controlling us. And this force is called the positive force. We can call it by different other names, but in order to not get confused, we have the evil force that's revealed and that's in control, and the positive force that we can draw and make it appear in our world. But in order to draw the positive force, for this we have to get organized. Because just like the evil force controls everything according to our relations, that were I to live on my own, alone, then the power of good or the power of evil wouldn't have been that felt in me. But since I live with others, the more developed our relationships are, the more the evil force controlling us is revealed. And the same with respect to the good force. If we want for it to influence us, we have to build society in a way that the good force will become revealed in it evermore according to our efforts.